What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 16 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Gorbad Ironclaw Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, I forget what their name was now, some kind of Khornate faction here in the Cauldron has finally been destroyed. We gave them a chance, but they wasted it. And now they're gone, and nobody will ever speak about them again. Anyway, Colonel Stair is done for, and we took his territory, and we are done in the Badlands with Gorbad. We're packing up. All of the boys are getting ready. Whatever the orky variant of mustering the throng, we're calling the WAAAGH, and we're up to minus 25,000 gold per turn, and getting ready to head north and invade the Empire. The Sol Valley is already in shambles as the allureful sort of impact of Gorbad's WAAAGH. Our heralds, our raiders, our wolf raiders have already made a shambles of it, and well, soon there will be plenty more orcs and stuff where that came from. Anyway, I believe we're only halfway through this current turn, so we still got a lot of stuff to do, so let's get to doing. Now, the question is, Blorgrader, do we want to send you down to deal with the rest of the Vampire Coast? Frankly, there's not a lot left of them, and I would imagine that Argor should be able to deal with most of it. I'm thinking that maybe you're okay. Now, we could go up here. What would be faster? Well, I guess we'd have to work... These guys will inevitably attack us. I don't necessarily want to start a war with them, but, well, we also do have to deal with the... we do have to deal with the Barrow Legion, and you know what? The Barrow Legion charging through piles and piles of undead with those boar chariots, I don't dislike the idea. Anyway, your wall will be gone in 3 turns, so by the time you get there, meaning you no longer require it, you have your River Troll Hag now, so you're free to move as you please. Jump into... Actually, just past Skasezi, because then we don't have to worry about crossing the river like so. Alright, and you'll be healed up by the time you're there. You are missing a unit. I don't remember which unit I wanted to get you. Well, we'll figure it out as we go. Just keep on working. Anyway, that was Blorg. Let's do it in order, which I have such trouble doing in my other campaign or campaigns. Muncha Edbutt, I think you can start traveling north as well, so move this way. And I guess we'll get the Slimy in your army, and then we should have just jumped you with the underway stance so the Slimy can follow you, because now, yeah, well, whatever. We can put the Fishy into not Glugzag's army and not Azdrag's army. Yes, okay, so that's you. Though, well, that's fine. We're not going to be able to reach Lucini immediately anyway, so Azdrag, you can go here as close or as far as you can go. Oh, the Fishy won't be able to reach you anyway. Alright, fine, just keep traveling this way then. Spite Backbiter and Glugzag, both of you. I would like you to raid and then be on the approach to Lucini, which is tier 1 and is done, most likely. You, do you want to maybe follow Muncha Edbutt up north? We have enough armies here, I think, especially since the delivery... Ooh, wait, can we make the delivery now? Nope, just short, damn. Oh well, just move on and just hope that nobody's there to ambush you. Alrighty, who's up next? I guess it's gonna be Argor, and Argor, we know what to do with you. Aranessa is here. Let's see if she tries to run from the orc boys, or whether, will she fight? I think she should fight, right? She'll fight. She'll fight. That's the nice thing about having a ton of orc boys in this army, is that they are, that the AI will think that they're rather weak. We're also now up to 3 units of stone trolls rather than the original trolls, and between the stone trolls' general increase in leadership plus their scrap upgrades, and the liquor flasks, they should be a little bit less likely to rout. Which is just great. Anyway, we got some deck guns we definitely need to be concerned about, and 2 bloated corpses, which we really need to be concerned about still, and we should have this. Go. Alright, here we go. Aranessa versus Argor. This should be pretty interesting. We've got a lot of gunnery units available to the enemy, but, well, we do have shielded units, and, well, we'll see, I guess. We're at silver shields on the orc boys now, 55% block, which ain't too bad. And when we give them a movable bulwark, that also allows them to take hits from artillery pieces. Anyway, Argor is going to start the day by moving towards one of the enemy bloated corpses, which explodes immediately. Wyvern doesn't care, of course. Wyvern takes what it wants, and it looks like Argor is pretty happy about that one. We're going to have to go and find the second. Just, that's probably gross, but it does look cool. Anyway, I'm going to lift off, and oh wow, that smoke is bigger than I thought it would be. Go figure. Anyway, he's gonna lift back off, and then we'll try to find the second one, which is apparently hidden on the other side. Fortunately, the AI always does the same thing with the bloated corpses, so you can always pretty much guess where they are. Argor's gonna try to fly around and attempt to get around those enemy deck gunners and stuff, while our flying V formations get ready to move on in, like so. Alrighty, and the Black Orcs and the Black Orc Big Boss will lead. Black Orc Big Boss will head directly towards Aranessa, who will apparently charge right past them and into the Black Orcs, which I guess to some degree makes sense. And here come all of the Orc boys. We do have the... is that a Rotting Promethean, or is that a hero? No, it's a Vampire Fleet Captain. I guess it is by itself, so where would be the mobs? And there we go, Argor has found the second unit of bloated corpses. He's taken a little bit of damage from the range fire, but that's alright, as the rest of our army closes the distance and continues to do so in that lovely V formation. And there we go. Just like that, most of the enemy range units are engaged, and we have suffered, I'd say, comparatively little damage, as on the approach, of course, the enemy will do at least some damage to us in melee. But it's not really what the Vampire Coast is great at. I mean, it is if you build for it, but the AI doesn't build for it, so we can't expect it to be as such. Especially since it's not, I mean, it's Aranessa and such. Not her signature units or anything like that. She has, however, personally done a fair bit of damage to our Black Orc Big Boss, who has lost about 40% of his HP. Here we get the Black Orcs, well, no, just regular Orc boys, fighting on the right flank. Ooh, he's gonna still firing off some point-blank shots. Good job, zombies. Alrighty, but it won't be a good job for too much longer. Looks like the zombie-powered gunnery mobs with handguns will attempt to get away, but they're at 24 move speed and will not be able to escape. And the regular Orc boys will run them down with those unstoppable choppers and 81 weapon strength. I love the fact that the Orc boys hit as hard as Biggins do. In fact, they hit harder than Biggins. I don't know if we can get Biggin hitting even harder. Gonna be some comparisons between Argor and Blorg. Blorg. Name always makes me laugh. It's a good name, damn it. Anyway, the Trolls still helping out and leading the pack, and taking some damage from the zombie-powered deckhands mobs, sending them flying with a few kicks. Though, of course, I doubt that the Black Orcs would have been too damaged by the deckhands mobs. The Trolls should be just fine and heal through that. Aranessa's down by about 20% of her HP, and a different Black Orc Big Boss has moved in, while Argor, Argor has moved in to close the distance with the Rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, the most threatening unit on the battlefield. Good at tanking, good at dishing out damage, just a very, very solid unit. That said, said solid unit can only take so many choppers to the extremities, and soon it will be hacked apart by all those Orc boys, slowly but surely. And then the same thing goes for the units of Vampire's Fleet Captains. Heavily armored or not, even if we do lack armor piercing, let's see. 9 armor piercing weapon damage, but about 12, but the base weapon damage is so dang high, even with the enemy blocking a considerable amount of it. And this is definitely an army where we'll want to... later on, we will get the Black Orcs upgraded via tech that gives them the I believe it was the sundering trait, so they'll be able to sunder armor, and that'll help the regular orcs dish out more damage. And yeah, another nice element of synergy between just having a couple of black orc units in with a ton of the regular orc boys. Anyway, with that, the only unit left on the battlefield is Aranessa herself. And she will shatter and attempt to get away while the rest of her army melts, and the battle is ours. And there we go, no problem. Looks like a little bit of, I think the most damage was dealt to our heroes. Oh, actually, look, one of those orc boy units actually took a fair bit of damage as well. Alright, bring Aranessa down, and oh right, the game never lets you see the final blow. Oh well. Alrighty, very nice. I see why Aranessa decided to fight. Certainly, she did some damage. One of the Orc Boys units was severely hurt there, but otherwise we were able to overcome. The Vampire Coast units, 13,000 damage on the Overwhelming Rage, though it looks like... Oh, one of the unnamed ones managed to get 22k, 24k, and 261 on this one as well. You never know which one's gonna do better. And obviously the Stone Trolls out-killed the regular Trolls, which is kind of interesting considering they're more of a tanky type unit, but they're also more bonky, I guess, as well. And great job to the 2 units of Black Orcs down the Stubbables, and the Killer Cans taking shots as they usually do, with surviving and living to fight another day. No point in sacking the place, so we'll just straight up occupy it. And regeneration at sea we don't care about, but sacking settlements, more money out of that. We're gonna need it, because this is gonna keep climbing. Another potion of healing, great. Enchanted shield, Warbore for Smorbits. That's you? No, that's Ublug. Who the heck is Smorbits? I don't know. Oh well. Let's see, you're gonna go into Greenskin camp, and the vampiric corruption is going to be something of an issue here, but otherwise, I think we're looking okay. Alrighty, who's next in terms of the moves? Grom Gobscream, you are headed out to obliterate the rest of the Clan Mordkinskaven. I mean, I guess we have to go around this way. I wonder if it would be faster to go this way. We don't have military access with Clan Rictus, do we? We do have military access with the Rictus. Oh, well, isn't that lovely? Alright, well then, Grom, I would like you instead to go like this. Right there. We have military access, we won't heal as much, but that's okay. You two can meet up. And then meet everybody, can meet together over there. You know what, I don't want you to die, Ragnik. I think you're immortal, right? You're not immortal. Oh, okay, well, then that's... Wait, actually, I don't even... Actually, but you probably are. Because you don't have the immortality trait like regular lords do, right? Yeah, they would have a trait. Okay, so he is immortal, so I shouldn't be as concerned, but still at least a little bit concerned. Anyway, you guys can meet up. Actually, you know what? It'll take a little bit longer, but we'll do this. Ragnik, go grab all the units from Maggot here. Or at the very least, grab the shaman and the 2 spider... Well, technically they're supposed to go to another army. That's probably... Well, at least grab this guy. You know? This guy. Good enough. And I think we'll just summon another little... Do we have a free Gobbo Lord? No Night Gob war bosses. We have these guys, but they're more expensive than I'd like. Get this guy. Alright, we'll just transfer all of the units if we can to him, and then I want to reset Mr. Maggot, because he's level 16 and has an Arachnarok Shrine, so it's pretty good for potentially leading another army, especially if we need one to sort of defend territories, which is a distinct possibility, considering we've gotten a pretty wide empire at this point. Grotzlik is fine, WAAAGH, and the other Rada is fine. Ublug, you are not fine. You're very much not fine. SKARSNIK will actually start with you. I want you to kill Durak Redmane while Bartwork Backbiter besieges Karaz-a-Karak. Though we will... Okay, wait, you know what? You have no plans here, and for fighting, again, true quality, much better than yours, we will get you Fungus Farms. That's the main power-up for this army. I mean, I guess... We could get you regimental, but it's not a big enough deal. We don't have enough plans, I think, to go around right now to deal with it. You guys don't have the armor-piercing upgrade, eh? But 80, wow. We basically use up all of our scrap to do that. Maybe we'll just give it to the 8-peak loonies. And then we'll deal with the others as we get more scrap. Alright, let's see about you 2 or 3 or whatever. You're going through Trickster to try to get to Shroomsin, and I assume you're doing the same, sir? Trickster? On the way to Shroomsin. Night Goblin Shaman, you... I guess we should get release spiders. Probably the best thing here. Ooh, more... the ability to overcast the Curse of the Bad Moon. We do have enough mana to cast it, and if any army is going to cast the Curse of the Bad Moon, it probably should be the mushroom drunk maniacs. But anyway, let's go to the Night Goblin Big Boss, who is who's waiting for rank 12. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! It's like. It's like 3% away. Game. Unbelievable. This was the fight that they needed it. And then you can keep holding onto your points, I think. Well, you know what? Let's get the Overcast Soul Blight, but then save points for Retinue Physician afterwards. Hopefully these guys can manage. SKARSNIK, let's level you up. You've got 8 skill points after not having fought a single battle. SKARSNIK. Gotta love him. Nobody is reaching rank 7 anytime soon, but nonetheless, we got the Gobos. What we need next is... so Colossal Squigs and Squig Hoppers are part of a different tree, eh? Well, frankly, Riders is kind of a meh trait anyway, so it's not a huge deal that we don't necessarily have it for the Squig Hoppers, at least not right now. I think the Big Lads is a better one. Oh, there's not much of a better one. Yeah, they're both kind of meh. And neither one is critical. I was just wondering... we're probably going to keep both anyway. Alright, fine. I think I'd prefer speed to the slight amount of melee attack, so speed it is. We'll go for Riders, which we will then... yeah. You can get back air and then sneaky stabbers for the gobs. And eventually we'll get Ard Lads. You should probably get Dodgy Geezer for this. And you know what, just so that we don't forget, we don't need Ard Lads, we don't need Savage Smarts. Yeah, it's just gonna be biggest and strongest for the Colossal Squigs. Alright, biggest and strongest it is. Probably could have gotten your Root Marcher, but whatever, all good. The Night Gob Big Bosses can save their points, and then you, Poison, well, I guess you're saving your points as well for all of this stuff. Alright, fair enough. Nobody is spending your points except for Mr. Night Goblin Shaman, Itchy Nuisance, and Sneaky Stabbing. The spammy stuff. We're gonna need it here. SKARSNIK, you're going to go into Stalking Stance. Give it a try. And no dice on the ambush, but that's alright. SKARSNIK'S Big Waaagh, which gives us additional, fairly significant amount of increased missile damage, which is good because he went for more of a missile... troop type army, and in fact he buffs missile damage more than he does non-missile damage. It makes me wonder whether we should maybe put a couple of Doom Divers in his army. I'll think about it. It's just that what the heck would we get rid of? There's not enough space in an army like this. But anyway, go. Alrighty, here we go. SKARSNIK'S army is still new and still relatively untested. We still have the regular Night Gobs and aren't using Fanatics in his army, so we will need to be careful and approach this as a battle that, we have to work towards winning. Now, the way that we're doing this is thusly. The Night Gobs with SKARSNIK in the lead will charge directly towards the enemy. The 2 Night Goblin Big Bosses will charge directly at the Miners, and the Night Goblin and another one will charge directly at the Miners with blasting charges. A single volley of blasting charges into a tier 1, effectively unarmored unit of Night Gobs will shred the unit, so we need to engage them with our heroes, ideally before they get the blasting charges off. Otherwise, the idea is to have the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers charge into the enemy artillery in the enemy back line, while the rusty arrows and the other Night Goblin archers bring up the rear, with the idea that once the enemy melee line is engaged, the arrow boys or the Goblin archers will actually fire into their backs. Not something I've tried with this army yet, or well, in this campaign as yet, but it's worked in other campaigns before, and I imagine the Gobs will be pretty good at it. Anyway, the 2 Night Goblins will summon their Squigs right on top of those miners with blasting charges, preventing them from getting off their volleys and allowing our Night Goblin, regular Night Goblins, to close this distance and start a stabbing. In the back line, we have our units of Squig Hoppers, which have made it in and are now attacking those poor artillery crew, which can no longer fire. Lovely. Such a weird disparity of troop quality in this particular army, as the enemy has a bunch of miners, but then the frickin' Peak Gate Guard, Regiment of Renowned Hammerers, Tier 5. Ultra elite unit. Kind of interesting. Anyway. Oh, SKARSNIK'S gonna get his Doom Diver drop on top of the Peak Gate Guard, doing a little bit of damage to them. We're gonna try to help out with our 2 Colossal Squigs, which have made their way forward. Always fun to watch. The rolling, the jumping, the stomping, the biting. Gotta love your big squig. And the devouring, of course. Can't forget the devouring. Anyway, it looks like the enemy range line at least has collapsed, but it's going to be a while before we can knock out that melee line. We don't have the fanatics to help us out like we normally might, but, well, how many arrows to the back can one Dowie take, I guess is the question. We're just going to have to find out. Looks like the summoned Squig herds are still fighting, and that's providing a little bit of extra tankiness to our units. And now I see some of those arrows are sailing by and into our own units, but, well, that's Greenskins for you. They might not do it quite as much as Skaven perhaps do, but it's still probably a fair bit. The 8 Peak Loonies, no, the Warlords boys, I was confused the two, holding back the enemy Thane here, though by the looks of it, we might not need to for much longer. The balance of power has shifted to about 85% in our favor. SKARSNIK is in the midst of a duel with the enemy lord and is applying that SKARSNIK death juice with the occasional poke and killing of a few other units, which is good because he's also applying his death juice to those other units. I'm going to help him out with a little bit of an itchy nuisance on the enemy, while the Peak Gate Guard have been forced away from the rest of the army. We're going to stop them in their tracks with a nice Gobbo Net, which is the difference between the Night Goblin Archers versus the Night Goblin Archer Fanatics. So we can stop these guys for a few seconds, and then... why is there one Squig Hopper there? Anyway, stop them for a few seconds and get a few more volleys off. And now all of our units of Night Goblin Archers are firing away at them. Just a few more volleys. They are down to about a quarter of their HP now. Ooh, a very nice Rune of Wrath and Ruin hits the Warlords boys here and takes like 80% of their HP out. Very, very nice. It didn't actually kill a lot of them. Might not even have killed any of them, but it obliterated their HP. Fortunately, their HP is not the only one being obliterated. Finally, the Peak Gate Guard are done. Granted, it took all 5 of our archer units, focusing them down for a fair while, but they had already done the damage by shooting the enemy in the back. The big old Colossal Squigs will chase down the Thane and the Runesmith alike, and I believe SKARSNIK has nearly or will soon defeat the enemy lord as well. There we go. The enemy lord has shattered. The other Runesmith has shattered as well. Frankly, I'm surprised this Colossal Squig doesn't just, you know, swallow the Thane. Which is obviously what would actually happen, but anyway, there we go with that. The enemy army is broken. Pretty darn fun fight, without the sort of crutch of the fanatics to rely upon and obliterate the enemy melee line. Really got to make sure that we work on our rock, paper, scissorsing and our deployments for SKARSNIK, which is a good sign. I think he's going to have a lot of fun battles going through the campaign, depending on how long it lasts. Which we'll see. I'm still having a lot of fun in the campaign, so regardless of the fact that it has lost its appeal to some, I'm probably going to keep going for a while. Wonder if I might move it to the other channel. I'll think about it. Anyway, for now, great battle. Good job, SKARSNIK. You probably don't really need the XP because everybody else is going to fill your XP by fighting their own battles. All right, very nice. I gotta say that that went pretty darn well. You got to admit the fact that these are basic Night Gobbos. They're not fanatics. They are the tier 1 version of Night Gobs without the spinning loons, and thus do considerably less damage than the ones with the spinning loons, and can't directly fight in a one-on-one even with dwarf warriors. And I don't know how they'd fare against miners. I'd be interested to see. But anyway, what they can, however, do is pin them in place very well clearly and allow the Night Goblin archers to start shooting the enemy in the back while the artillery and stuff is torn apart by the squigs. I am very happy. SKARSNIK doesn't fail to impress. Anyway, we are going to once again slaughter the captives. 2 more turns of this until the next confederation, I guess. Alright. Very nice, very nice. And enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Trickster Shard, Rampager Standard, Snotling Scavengers. Not for you, Muzrub. Not for you. And did I build siege equipment with you? I did not. Just in case, build siege equipment. I'm going to hope that they sally out. They've got a pretty darn decent set of troops. Anyway, SKARSNIK, you're going to switch to Raiden stance, and you're going to proceed to the Pillars of Grugni. Fortunately, these things, by the looks of it, have been raided over and over again by Skaven and by, well, presumably by Grimgor as well, by everybody around, so that explains that. Now, Ublug... It's really unfortunate. Really, you can't do this. I watched the Skaven do it. I guess they hit the wall with them, and we do not. Or rather, we hit the wall and they did not. But this army is not particularly good at fighting without its wall. That's the problem. And depending on how many armies these guys have running around, it might be a big potential risk jumping them up there. Should we risk it? And the thing is, you're not needed here. Although I suppose if we send you this way, we could have you grab World's Edge Archway instead of necessarily needing to push SKARSNIK that way. On the other hand, it's going to take a while for these guys to get here, which I don't like. Yeah, I would like SKARSNIK to turn around and then get ready to attack the Empire together with Gorbad. So I guess you're going this way then. And yeah, we really cannot jump very far with the wall. Well, it's 3 turns, so it'll be gone. We won't be able to use it again anyway, so let's just delete it. There we go. And yeah, now you can jump significantly further. Screw it, let's risk it. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea, Ruinous. Do it. Alrighty, and then Zok, I would like you to... And I'll go here. You probably have an even worse prospect of winning this, but well, I'll give it a shot. I think what we'll do is we'll upgrade you 2 to spiky rollers just in case. Both of you. There we go, and then you 2 can't be upgraded. The rest of this is fine. You 2 are supposed to become nasty skulkers. Let's nasty skulk you up. And we'll need a few more in this army. Later on, I have a plan, guys. Remember, this is actually 2 armies in one. It's going to get split off. It's just we're not there yet. But we'll see how many armies these guys are hiding. Oh, I see one here. Yeah, this army's gonna get attacked by multiple stacks. But what can you do? Anyway, let's get you. Maybe we'll get Sneaky Stealin' for this one. Sneaky Stealin', you are rank 13 and are moving on towards Shroomsin. Let's get you a Bone Dagger and then move through Trickster. You can do probably not the same thing. You're waiting for the biggest teeth. You have reached the biggest teeth, which is great. Stick 'em, boys, into Troll Piss, into the biggest teeth, and 1 point in Bone Dagger. And then Giant River Troll Hag, you can get another point in Soul Blight. Decent likelihood that we're really gonna need it. In case you get attacked, I want you to have... I mean, we could give... The missile block chance is an increase only to goblin infantry units, meaning it doesn't really help this particular army, neither does raiding parties. Net them up, however, does increase the missile strength of all of these guys, so I think we will do net them up. Blockers and smashes doesn't help. We could do regimental, but that... I don't know, it's probably not a good use of a plan right now, especially since we have limited plans and we don't have a lot of upkeep in this particular army. At least not a crazy amount of upkeep. Yeah. Alright, we'll see what the enemy has in store for us. Anyway, who else needs to move? Grotzlik? Oh, check him every time. Okay, you guys are fine. Bartorg is fine. He's besieging Gorfang Rotgut. You're just raiding here. Morglum de Flea. You are... yes. Okay, so you're ferrying these troops. Keep on ferrying. And I do believe Spite, the rest of this army, is... gonna go this way. Might be better to go this way. Jump across. Or even go into the water. Wait. You could probably grab that sea corpse while you're at it and then meet up here at the case and yeah, something along those lines. Anyway, I believe... Ooh, tech thief. Tech thief, you can do some tech thievery. Or you can attempt it anyway. Yeah, he succeeded. Well done, little buddy. Shaman's lackey seduce units budget. Interesting. Wasn't expecting that. We can certainly... What is ranked up when not embedded in an army? Good for you. Anyway, steel tech. How's our tech thievery? We're up to 273 research rate. It is nowhere near enough. These are still at 2. These are all still at 3. It's still going to take a long time. But hopefully with enough Gabo cities, we will have the research rate bump itself up significantly by then. Anyway, folks, with that, we're out of time. I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we end the turn immediately upon starting the episode and destroy Karaz-a-Karak for good, assuming that they attack us. And, well, we'll destroy it for good with the attacks of these, plus destroy the clan Mordkin faction for good. We are preparing Oglok the Horrible with his Boar Boys and his Black Orcs, but the other way around, but whatever, on the way. And they will perhaps prepare the way by attacking Blackfire Pass, as, you know, any real orc WAAAGH has to go through Blackfire Pass. It's the only way. Yeah, by then, hopefully Gorbad will arrive, as he's going to start traveling northward as well. Anyway, more orcs to come. Stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.